Here we go, guys, into the second tournament of the day. This is the Platinum Heroes 1 tournament for players in Platinum level and below. We're starting these maps on Port Alexander LE in the top. Left-hand corner, playing as Zerg. In the pink, it is StarletNinja. And her opponent, in the bottom right, in the blue, playing Terran, it is Sparklehands. So StarletNinja, pardon me, is a longtime member of the Platinum Heroes Discord server, which you can find, by the way, by pressing !Discord in the chat. Platinum Heroes Discord is a Discord server that helps developing players grow their skill. Provides free coaching, strategy analysis. You can submit your replays and have a pro coach look them over. Everything free of charge. And they're a great group of folks, and I would highly encourage you, if you're playing in this tournament, you're probably already in it, or if you're just watching it, hop into their Discord, say hello, and learn a little bit more about Platinum Heroes. StarletNinja is apparently a bit of a fan favorite, I've noticed in the chat. One of the female players from the stream. She is I've been told that she is like a mom and is just kicking ass playing StarCraft, and it's pretty cool to see. And as an added bonus, she's got that awesome synth Zerg skin, which I just love. Oh man, I always cheer for a player that has the synth Zerg skin. It's so sick. Sparklehands with an expansion on the low ground there. Overlord from StarletNinja gonna get in and see everything here. Factory behind the barracks here looks like a pretty standard opening for Sparkle rather, and Starlet as well. We do see Ling Speed on the way. A couple of queens coming out just as the natural finishes up there for Starlet. Reactor down on the barracks there. I imagine that'll get picked up and transferred over with the factory. See what this Reaper can get done here from Sparkle. He has a nice grenade there, pushing the Queen toward it a little bit. The Zergling's going to be forced to go back home. No kills for that Reaper, but it was pushed away, so no scouting either. Not that there was much to scout, just one gas taken there in the natural, and Ling Speed about 7/8 of the way done. Starlet, meanwhile, just droning up back home. On the Terran side of the map, we do see that starport coming down behind it, and in fact, we have seen the factory swap over, so we're going to see a couple Hellions popping out here pretty soon, which is nice. Tech Lab going down onto the barracks as well. I'd be interested to see if he swaps over the barracks and the starport, or just decides to start cranking out some bio from this barracks. We'll have to see if he waits for that starport to finish, but it looks like with nothing producing out of the barracks, there it is. We are going to probably see some Cloak Banshee play. So fingers crossed that Starlet is ready for it. We see a Roach Warren back home, as well as Lair Tech for Starlet. An armory on the high ground. What on earth is this all about? I love it already. Armory down here for Sparklehands. This fly is still in my house. It's gone for now. But I'm gonna find it. Come here, you son of a coward! Alright, whatever. Cloak about 1/3 of the way done. Not yet scouted here by Starlet, who has her Overlord in the outside position. There's a Zergling here, waiting to see if the third base is gonna get plopped down, but so far just a scouting expeditionary force out in the middle of the map. Back home for the Zerg player, we see a couple Queens and a couple Roaches out for defense. Roach Speed on the way. Still only one gas taken for Starlet. No Evo Chambers as of yet, and no Spores either. Could spell bad news, as the first Banshee is already out on the map. I'm not sure where it is. Where's that Banshee? Oh, it's just at home chilling. So Starlet actually has not seen that Banshee just yet, I don't believe. No, does not quite know it's there. So if Sparkle moves it back and doesn't keep it at home for defense, could be in good shape. A couple Queens going to push away these Hellions. The Hellions, oh man, they could have taken out that drone to make the hatchery, but the hatchery does go down. A lot of Zerglings getting roasted. There's some nice Hellion shots there by Sparklehands, and Starlet does get her third down, though, in good time. We see another second Banshee on the way. Goodness gracious. From Sparklehands, who is not, a third Banshee, rather, on the way from Sparklehands, who is not joking around here. Going with Terran ship plating level 1 to protect those Banshees from the Queens, I guess. And again, the Overlord has not yet seen these Banshees, and so we still see no detection back home. Cloak is finished, so the timing window has closed now for StarletNinja. Sparklehands needs to move across the map and make something happen with this tech that he's invested so heavily in. Third Banshee, oh my gosh, is it going to make itself known? Can Starlet see it? Starlet just sees that Banshee, so we're going to have to see how... Okay, the Banshee moves out. Now remember, this is a Platinum level game, not a GSL game, so it's not 100% certain that she noticed this Banshee poke just into Overlord range and back out. We're going to see a lot of Hellions coming through. They're definitely going to morph into Hellbats and try and roast this army. A couple Ravagers already out. They should do fairly well against these Hellbats, but the Banshee's in for support behind these Hellbats. Interesting choice to go Hellbat Banshee and not Hellbat Medevac. But some roasting happening. The Banshee's cloaking immediately. A lot of DPS in those Banshees, taking out a lot of units. Banelings morphing in. 3 Banelings do explode, but the Hellbats are still alive, and this third base is going to get torched down. Starlet finds herself in a whole lot of trouble here as this Hellbat Banshee push takes down her third. Banshees continue to be cloaked, and let's see if Sparkle decides to move up the ramp and in, or just chill for a while. Okay, going for the just chill option. Dope. I love it. Sensor Tower should point out that there is an Overlord there. Oh, it looks like they're going to engage again here. The Hellbat's not getting quite as close to the army as they'd like to last time. The Hellbat number decreasing because there are, of course, no medevacs there to support it. A couple Hydralisks pop out and get fried immediately, but it looks like the Roach Ravager is finally going to be enough. They're going to have critical mass to push back these 4 Hellbats remaining. Now these Banshees are still cloaked, wasting a lot of their energy here. I'd love to see Sparklehands remember to uncloak those Banshees and send them around to go do damage somewhere else. We do see Spores finally in the main and in the natural, but no third base now for Starlet. She is putting the third base down again to recover, but I'm afraid she's at a significant income disadvantage now to her Terran opponent. Terran opponent dropping a Terran opponent. Sparklehands, her Terran opponent, dropping that second armory now, going heavily into this mech program. Mech build. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm on my 4th hour of casting. Give me a break, guys. A lot of Hellions coming out that will get morphed into Hellbats. A couple Liberators as well. And we see Cyclones getting added to the mix. Back home for Starlet, we see Hydralisk Speed is going to be the next choice. Gases on the natural have finally been taken there, so she can afford to tech up just a little bit as she adds those Hydralisks onto her army. It looks like, however, our Terran player queuing up for another attack here with a whole lot of Hellions and that Cyclone as well. Starting a 4th base, Sparklehands looks like it wants to out-expand his opponent. Starlet moving these units into position on the ramp between the natural and the third. A couple creep tumors to help with the site there, making use of all those extra queens. A lot of extra queen energy. More and more units streaming across the map now for Sparklehands as he's setting up for this big attack back onto the third base. The third base finishes, so it's not time to cancel anymore. Liberator Harass looks like it's going to be the Harass of choice, and the Liberator's certainly going to be able to find a nice spot on the main, but there's the engage in the third. The Hellions not morphing into Hellbats just yet. In fact, they're going to stay in Hellion mode. A scan picks off all those creep tumors. And here the Liberator Harass has already come down. Hydralisk is going to skirt around Liberator range, and they will pick down those Hellions, or the Liberators rather. The Liberators need to unsiege and move out. Sparklehands moving a little bit slowly, though, it looks like. And, oh, Liberator number 2 going to go bye-bye. Oh my god, is he going to survive? Holy crap, Liberator number 2 survives. I don't believe it with 4 kills. I salute you, sir. Unreal. This large mech army is posturing outside the third again. It didn't get the damage done that it wanted to get done that first time. The third base is still standing and it's beginning to get saturated with some drones. In fact, wow, 9 drones and another base. StarletNinja feeling very comfortable with her position now in this game. She has moved her forces back out to protect this natural, so they're in much better position. But man, this mech army just keeps getting scarier and scarier. +1/+1 is done. Mag field accelerators almost finished up. We see more and more factories getting added on, more and more reactors getting added on. The production is continuing to increase from Sparklehands. Queen's pushing out with some more creep tumors again to scout, but as soon as the tumors go down, this giant battle mech army starts to engage into the Queens. A couple Queens get picked off immediately, no transfuses going down, some Hydralisks and Zerglings getting roasted at the front there. There's nothing of substance to protect these Hydralisks, so as soon as they do meet with that blue flame Hellion fire, they are just going to get torn down immediately. The Terran looks like it's comfortable to sit out just a little bit. Come on, Sparklehands, you can make it happen, man. Get in there. Come on, StarletNinja. You can defend this. Mix some roaches into your play. Do something to give your army a little bit more bulk. Right now, you're real dangerous with just all Hydralisk all the time. Man. SCV's getting Maynarded down to the 4th base now as Sparklehands morphs that into a planetary just to stay definitely extra double safe against any Ling run-bys or anything of the sort. More factory, more production back home for Sparklehands, who has got his 4th base down. His 3rd base down, now fully saturated, and his 4th base planetary has finished. Battle Mech Army roasting a couple Zerglings, trying to go by, but here we go. It looks like Sparkle's going to move back in. The Cyclones lock on to a couple Queens. They're going to pick down the Queens, which is nice work. A lot of high-energy Queens going down, and now all that's left are Hydralisks. Look at the unit counts here. 22 Hydralisks and nothing. The army supply is insanely in favor of Sparklehands. If he moved in right now, he would be able to decimate almost anything he could. A lot of these units very low, though, for our Terran player. Looks like the Zerg attack. Aha, very nice. Going to go around and flank on the north side of the map. There's not a whole lot to protect this planetary, aside from the twin Ibex cannons on the top of it. Somebody's been playing the campaign lately. And there we go. Looks like the command center going to get taken out here for Sparklehands. That's a big investment loss. It's also going to force this entire mech army to go back home to defend. Look at that arc of Hydralisks who have just picked off that 5th base. Very nicely done. Going to head back home. StarletNinja happy to run and gun. Doesn't want to engage with his superior mech army right now. A lot of upgrades. The mech army going to catch her on the retreat here, but again, a nice concave there from the StarletNinja's Hydralisks are going to make it difficult for this mech army to engage. Poor positioning here from Sparklehands. A lot of those units not firing, getting caught at the top of the ramp, and Sparklehands taking a bit of a beating, much more than he needed to. Looks like the Liberator has been cleaned up back home, I think. Some drones going down. No, never mind. Sorry, Liberator on the 3rd base here, getting a couple drones. Nice work, Sparklehands, preventing some mining time. The army getting forced back to defend that 3rd base. Sparklehands floating a whole lot of minerals. Need to build some more production units, I think. More production buildings, I think. A couple more factories would not go amiss. Both players, again, sitting back. Just playing it safe. Not engaging. Looks like Starlet double injecting here onto her 4th base. Here needs to get some drones over here to saturate. There's no use in having a 4th base if it's not saturated. Unfortunately, her money's awful tight right now with only 200 in the bank and probably really, really short on larva, as well as that 3rd base had seen a lot of. Oh, Sparklehands trying to do a sneaky move to get up onto this high ground, but unfortunately stepped onto creep and showed himself. The Hydralisk army has engaged here. Again, another nice concave from the Hydralisk army. A lot of these mech units not getting their shots in as they're getting pushed back by the other mech units in the wall. But it looks like there should be enough mech here to cause significant damage. Starlet pushing it away once again. Very nicely played there by Starlet. The Queen is going to go down, and this mech army continuing to dart in and back out. Now, half the army is still back home here for Sparklehands. I don't know if he's forgotten about it, or if this is an intentional And there we go. It looks like he's forgotten about it. Gonna unsiege those tanks and send them out as well. Attacking with his entire force would probably end this game, so it needs to happen soon. We see Thor's in production now, which is a nice choice, and the Fusion Core, hopefully for Liberator range, unless he wants to meme with us, in which case it's for battle cruisers. But we will have to see. Here we go. Now this Terran army is finally looking really scary. Liberator's gonna siege up on this ramp, making it very, very difficult for the Zerg to attack into this army. Baneling's being morphed in to try and get some good hits off on those weaker Hellions. But right now, it looks like the mech army is going to do a fantastic job under the watchful umbrella of these Liberators. Cyclones locking on, corpses of dead mech Zerg units everywhere. Ah, man, I hate to see the Zerg lose when they have this skin because it's so beautiful. These Liberators need to unsiege and move forward to provide more of an umbrella of safety for the mech units, but honestly, the Terran player is in a practically unassailable position now, attacking the 4th base of a StarletNinja as her ever-dwindling force of Hydralisks keeps them at bay. Again, we see some forgotten mech units back here, but man, there is so much here for Sparklehands. If he would just dart in and take out these units, he would be in good shape. Starlet looks like she wants to move across the map and cause some damage with a little bit of a counter push. Here we go. Sparkles remembered that he has a couple units. I love that there's 1 Marine mixed in there. Like, really? 1 Marine? Liberator's going to re-siege. See that there's nothing there. The Hydros on the other side of the map going to walk into siege tank fire. Going to pick off that tank, though. Picking off a sensor tower as well, and it looks like that base is going to be forced to be evacuated as the entire mech army heads back home. A couple tanks sieging up the 3rd base, the 4th base for the Terran. Oh my god, let me try again. The 4th base for the Zerg player is going to go down, and StarletNinja's Hydralisks are finally going to get defeated. Unfortunately, this orbital command is already ready to replace its fallen brother. So Sparklehands continues to have great fights this entire game. This time the concave is in favor of the mech player, and look at that. Starlet absolutely disintegrating under the pressure. Gonna GG out with no army left, and that is the game. Sparklehands is gonna take game number 1. All right, guys. Wow, what a match. Both players putting on a heck of a show. That's fantastic. Let's get 2 minutes on the clock. I'm gonna get these players back in for the next match. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. No, I'm not going to be right back. I have just heard that apparently at Big T Controller has just dropped $50 on the Diamond Tournament. What the what? Dude, massive heart for you. That is incredible. Oh, I love to see that kind of support. What on earth is up? Good work. All right, back to the game. Okay. I gotta be much more careful. I just thought that I turned my mic back on, and for another minute bitched about not having a mic on, and now... I'm so sorry, everyone. I apologize. If you're just joining us, we got an early bio play from Sparklehands against a pretty standard Ling Bane play from Starlet. Looks like she might want to Baneling bust this down. Oh shit. This is ridiculous. Sorry guys. So I bought a new mic over the weekend. And it's awesome and I sound great, but it has like a mute button on the front of it. So I keep trying to hit the mute button, but I guess I keep forgetting. Rimmerman, thank you for the bits, man. You're about to see so many face palms, or you just saw so many face palms. It's embarrassing. And it's still going to be quiet for... Oh, jeez. This is so sad. Alright, whatever. I'm going to get back into this game and pretend like I know what I'm doing. Big T Controller, you were the one who donated crazy to the Matcherino. That man is a hero. Thank you so much, dude. The idea that a platinum tournament could raise $100 and a diamond tournament could also raise $100 is crazy. Like I said, we've seen like show matches between GSL guys for $200 or $100 or $50. All right, so the Banelings are going to scout this giant medevac drop coming across the map. And so Starlet should realize one of two things. One, there are about to be some Marines in her base, so she's going to go back and defend that. But two, that means there's nothing back home. He's got one, Sparklehands has one Marine here. A couple of Banelings could do some real damage. It looks like this boost for the medevacs is going to go down. Yeah, he just realized. Now I'm reading chat 3 minutes afterwards. Oh, for fuck's sake. That's so embarrassing. Anyway, welcome to the game, guys. Here we go. 16 Marine drop into the main. 5, 6, 7 drones already. Here come the Zerglings, but the Marines are in a nice space behind the mineral patches there on Automaton, and there's not a whole lot of space to maneuver here, so the Queen is still getting some picks off, but the load up and the loadout by Sparklehands, 8 drones and a whole handful of Lings for the cost of 2 Marines is a hell of a good deal as his third base moves into production. Now, Starlet does have her third base up behind this, and she is starting Baneling speed. So it looks like, wow, she wants to move across the map and really make it happen here. Unfortunately, she just doesn't have a whole lot. 1 or 2 tanks could really defend this pretty well. Now, Sparklehands is saturating the third base, so she may be able to pick up some kills on SCVs here in the third base as the command center is just upgrading here. Oh, geez, and now y'all are laughing at me. I hate you guys so much. Okay. It's awful because I'm reading chat 3 minutes later, so I'll make the mistake. I'll hear about it 3 minutes and fix it, and then 6 minutes after that, you'll all make fun of me again. Oh, jeez. All right, here we go. Zerglings into the mineral line, taking some siege tank fire. There are 2 siege tanks out, but the Banelings are going to waddle forward here. Slow Banelings off creep. Some good focus fire there from Sparklehands, and not a single, well, 1 Baneling connects. Only 2 SCVs go down. A rough attack there from Starlet. It just didn't seem to quite work out the way she had hoped it did, and now there are more Marines getting dropped in her base on the other side of the map. Look at the army supplies for these players. Army size for these players, rather. Sparklehands has taken a significant advantage, and if he remembers that he has this drop in the main, there we go, remembers that he has this drop in the main, he can definitely go in and pick something off. Probably the Spire is going to be the first thing to go with good focus fire, but the Baneling Nest could also go down. Back behind this, we can see combat shields finishing up, even an armory on the way, so we can get those +2 upgrades for his bio forces. We see another barracks and another starport going in, indicating that Sparklehands is going full bio all the time. A little expeditionary force of Zerglings coming across the map, but I imagine as soon as combat shield finishes up, Starlet is going to wish she had left these at home to protect against this drop from Sparklehands. Sparklehands. The Spire finishes up. The Zerglings and Banelings get into position on the 4th, but here we go. We see this drop moving in. 1 Queen, 2 Queen, 1 Baneling Nest, and the Spire should be the next thing to go. Look at that. All the Marines stimmed, firing down. The Spire goes down. Not a single flying unit goes down. This is a shame. And the Marines are going to stim and stutter step their way into the main. We are going to see a couple Banelings trying to get in here, trying to break down this barrier. But unfortunately, with a siege tank setup, it's just not going to be quite enough. And I'm afraid to say that we may see Starlet getting eliminated 2-0 in the round of 16 of this tournament. Marines in her base, 16 Zerglings on the way, but it's just not quite enough. And Sparklehands picks up and gets out of there. Okay. Couple Zerglings heading back home. Looks like Sparklehands wants to keep this drop for another day, but really at this point in the game, I think it's fair to say that Sparklehands is significantly ahead. I would be so surprised if Starlet was able to turn the tide, but this game is not over by any means. 16 Marine force here is going to run right into the entire army of Starlet out in the middle of the map. Looks like they might get a free Overlord here if they want it. Look at that, free Overlord. And then a couple Zerglings as well. Starlet pulls back her Zerglings. Very nicely done there. As these Marines head up to the third base that he scanned a little bit earlier. Back home for the Terran player, we see a vehicle weapons level 1, and then +1 armor and +2 weapons coming down for bio for the Terran player. A stim in to catch these Zerglings. Nice bait of a stim there by Starlet. Unfortunately, they are going to catch this Overlord as well. Starlet's supply significantly lower than her opponent. Pardon me. Another big stim here from the Marines, and these Queens should go down quite shortly. I imagine that third base will have to be evacuated, as the third base will likely go down quite soon also. There we go. The drones getting pulled. Stim Marines catching as many drones as they can. Overseer going down as well. A load up and a load back out. Sparklehands being very, very careful with this double Marine drop. Has almost lost nothing this game, though. 6 Marines and a Reaper for an incredibly huge gain for his opponent. Now, the Spire has been rebuilt, and Starlet is now making 12 Mutalisks, which is a lot. There are no missile turrets back home. In fact, there are no missile turrets anywhere. Marines moving out, but if Starlet is very, very careful with these Mutalisks, she could be in good shape. Hey, another follow. Fwerst28, thanks for the follow, man. I appreciate it. I'm glad you're enjoying the tournament. Be sure to check out the Discord and the Matcherito and stuff. We got a lot of links below, a lot of ways to support what's going on. Fusion Core coming up for Sparklehands, but Starlet's StarletNinja's Mutaflock is coming across the map here. So let's see if this is enough to pull back Sparklehands back to his main, or if he's just going to go for the base trade. Oh, I don't know. Starlet making a couple more Mutalisks, but here we go. StarletNinja moving in to the base. There's nothing here to defend, and these Mutalisks are going to get a lot of work done very quickly. In fact, they might even pick off that SCV that's building the Ghost. The Ghost Academy does go down, but the carnage has begun. What's the response? Sparklehands looks like he's pulling these units all the way back home, moving his drop into the main, but these Mutalisks are still getting a whole hell of a lot of work done. This is unbelievable carnage. 13, 14, 15 Mutalisks. A couple Marines popping out at the time, but the Mutalisks having no trouble taking care of them. Tease, thanks for the follow, man. I hope you're enjoying this crazy good match so far. Looks like we're going into a base trade. Oh my god, this is crazy. Mutalisks taking out the mineral line, but the army of Sparklehands is sieging up on the natural of Starlet. Looks like there are Marines in the main base as well. Mutalisks still popping out here. A lot of Marines, though, plumping down this Mutalisk flock, and it looks like as soon as Sparklehands can take care of the Mutalisk flock, StarletNinja GG's out, and that is gonna be the game. Starlet GG's out, and Sparklehands takes it 2-0.